A Shopify owner asked me to fix her conversion rate, and I never actually touched it. 12 months later, her sales were up 582%. And at 4x return on ad spend and the store crossing $1 million in sales, here's what I did instead and how you can spot the demand that your own store might be wasting. So the owner, Lena, was sure that her problem was a conversion rate. She was adamant. She opened a laptop and she showed me her conversion rate on her Shopify dashboard. And it was about 3%. Less than 3. It was less than 1%. It was 0. And her conversion rate was 0.3%. A fashion store usually sits near 2 to 3%. And under 1% is regarded as poor. And on paper, this kind of looks like a disaster, right? Most people spend months testing the product page and the checkout and going through this whole process, maybe even considering a theme change. But I didn't look at that first because that number was a symptom and not the real problem. Here's the thing most founders miss. Your site-wide conversion rate is not one number, right? It's an average of every traffic source blended together. And those sources convert very differently. Right? Email runs between 3 and 5%, I would say even maybe higher. Direct, you can see on the screen, direct traffic runs between 2 and 4%. That's usually people, clicking over, coming directly from maybe URL search in the browser or direct links. And social and organic are often between 0.5 and 2%. So one source can quietly drag down the entire number. And so I didn't see her store as broken. When I looked at her traffic, and where she was getting traffic from, the picture was kind of clear. Her organic traffic was barely converting. Her direct visitors were converting okay. And so the low number was a flood of low intent organic traffic pulling the entire average down. And on top of that, she didn't really have any email running. She had no advertising running. And the people who did not want to buy had nothing pulling them back. Visitors to the website just didn't come back again unless they saw a post or maybe they saw a story on Instagram. And so the real problem was kind of simple. She was sitting on demand for her products that she just wasn't capturing. And to be honest, didn't know how to. So the demand was already there and I couldn't prove it to her. She had organic content that went viral, product videos, like proper, I don't want to even say UGC because she was the brand. She was the person creating the content as well. She was in the videos and the videos had lots of attention. Like some of the videos had millions of views, viral products. But then there were almost no sales or very few sales from those views. And that told me that the intent was there. The path from attention to purchase was missing. So despite the fact that she had a link in bio, it wasn't enough. And to me, there were 3 real levers and none of them were about the website. She was not using email marketing at all. So I created a free account on OmniSend and we later on, switched to Klaviyo, set up the automation, set up all of the systems inside of those systems and got that working. The second thing we did was retargeting for viral views or just views in general. People who had come to the website, people who had added to cart, people who had visited or, looked at her profile, just creating audiences and retargeting those people. So anybody who showed an interest at all, we were showing ads to. They were not just cold ads going to sort of the collection pages or the homepage. For people who've seen a specific video, we sent that traffic directly back to that product. So it was like, okay, you saw this product, go look at this. But we also had other ads where maybe they didn't buy that specific product or they weren't looking, they came to the store for that particular product, but we showed them also the number 2, number 3, number 4 best-selling items in the store as well. And the result, this might sound super, super simple, but here's what happens 12 months later. 12 months later, her sales were up 582%, and we had about 4x return on ad spend, which in my opinion was a little lower than what I thought it should be. But we had also tested a whole bunch of new products. We did launches. We did a whole bunch of testing. But overall, profitability on the store was pretty good. Like overall sales, your blended ROAS was really, really good. I want you to pay attention to what I didn't do because I didn't fix the conversion rate. Like she was worried about the conversion rate. I did not solve that. What I solved was this attention and the demand that people had. The question that I would get is, but conversion rate of the 0.3% is pretty bad, right? And technically you should fix it. And my approach is this: like, you can improve it, but fixing the pages, fixing the theme, making it look prettier, we did do all that eventually. Like, after the 1 year we made $1 million, we did change the theme, and I'll tell you now, the theme change didn't make much of a difference. Fixing the page and fixing the theme does nothing if your traffic isn't high intent. And if they're arriving and they're not buying anything and there's nothing actually drawing them in, nothing capturing them. Like, if you don't have, opt-in forms or discount with coupons when they opt in, or retargeting or abandoned cart emails, none of those rise if you haven't fixed your foundation issues first. So my approach is always to capture first and optimize second, because the thing is, like, most founders are doing it backwards. Maybe conversion rate is important, but I wouldn't start there, right? If you feel stuck or your sales feel stuck, don't start with the conversion rate. Ask a better question. Like, what demand do I already have that I'm not capturing? Because this is the sign of a successful store, is if you have demand, then you can find that traffic and you can make a change, right? You can find the traffic that already converts and send more of that traffic, right? Catching in people's attention, catching people's interests, and then emailing them, right? Pointing your ads to the exact product and not to the homepage, right? The growth is usually already there. It's already coming from an audience that you already have. So most likely you're probably just not collecting it. So the first thing that I check on any store is I look at the store, I find the gap between the demand for the brand or the brand itself, maybe the products that it has. And it's not so much about conversion rate on sales, it's things like conversion rate on opt-ins, it's conversion rate on abandoned carts, it's open rates on emails, it's click-through rates on emails, it's click-through rates on ads, it's sales rate on ads, once those are all running, right? And here's the thing, is like, I actually do this as a living. This is not just one store that I worked on. I've worked on multiple brands at this point, and I have a free community called Growth Circle, which is hosted on School. It's for e-commerce founders. If you're doing $10,000 a month and you know that you have a traffic problem, you maybe know that you have a demand problem, perhaps you're saying to yourself that you have a conversion problem. The thing that I work on inside of Growth Circle with the community is go through a 7-day bottleneck audit, which is, where's the bottleneck? Where's the gap? Where are the opportunities? Where's the demand? Where's the supply? Where are you capturing attention? Where are you not capturing sales? And we look at those bottlenecks and we find out where your demand is leaking. So if that's interesting to you and you want to solve your bottlenecks, you want to solve the issues in your store, click the link in the description or check out my bio. The full breakdown of what we're doing in Growth Circle is there. Again, it's free. So if you enjoyed this video, check out Growth Circle, and I'll see you on the other side.